Gail, can you please contact Doug and alert him that we need to have law enforcement remove somebody from the premises? Please turn your camera off.
That's not happening.
Okay, then you need to leave.
Twitter account. No comment.
Do you still have confidence in her adequately representing the school district with her past affiliations and her extreme pro-gun viewpoints?
This is not a building that's open to the public, and you don't have permission to record me.
Did you let the board of directors know about your history as the president of the John Brown Gun Club? Do you feel like you're qualified to continue in your capacity right now?
Whom are you doing business with?
The district.
No, you need to leave. Who do you have an appointment with?
Hold on a minute. You're counsel and you're an attorney? Ms. McMinimee, do you have time for questions about your affiliations with the Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club in the past? With known domestic terrorist Willem Van Spronsen?
I believe that the constitutional rights are constitutional
Oh,
rights.
so you do support? So counsel, we good on the whole limited public forum? We're good on form analysis, kind of jogging your memory back from school? Hey everyone, I am free in the city of Bellevue here in King County in the Communist Empire of Washington State. I am heading on over for the April 17th school board meeting. That's right, to the Bellevue School District. I just dropped that story a couple days ago about Miss McMinimee. I'm heading on over there to confront the school district with some additional questions to see if they have any answers to these questions that are quite pressing, important. I've been getting a lot of emails, Facebook messages about whatever's going on, and people want answers. Predominantly, they want to know, why is one of the most pro Second Amendment attorneys, working for one of the most anti-gun school districts in the nation? Shannon McMinimee is a profoundly huge supporter of the Second Amendment, and she is their chief legal counsel for the school district. So we're going to head on over there, see if there's any answers they can provide.
Hi.
Is this where I sign up for a public comment?
Did you want to do a public comment?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. You are only one tonight.
Say it ain't so. That's all the civic engagement.
That's like that sometimes.
Is it the chief of staff that I would talk to, or who is it regarding a public records request? Because I had a constructive denial of 2 public records requests, as in the district just didn't respond to the 2 I made back on September 5th of last year.
Yeah, you can talk to Mr. Harrison. He's right there.
Hey, Mr. Harrison.
How you doing?
Good. I submitted 2 public records requests on September 5th, 2024, when I was last here. I'm going to make a public records request to you then.
Okay.
So where would we send that information?
Yeah.
Do we have your contact info?
Yeah, the email address is on there.
Okay.
Hey George, I'm going to make the public records request to you. I'd like all responsive records from your phones, from your devices that you were using over there for the entirety of this work session today on September 5th, 2024. So please do not delete those. I'm going to do a public records request for that, including the metadata. And I've had a constructive denial of both of those, as in you guys never respond.
All right, what I'm about to read to you is what the definition of a constructive denial of a public record is in Washington State from some case law from 2022. That case is Cantu versus the Yakima School District, and that again was in 2022. And that reads as a constructive denial of public records within the context of the Washington Public Records Act refers to a situation where an agency fails to provide responsive public record or information, not because of a direct denial, but due to actions that effectively prevent the requester obtaining the record. This can include failing to respond within the required time frame, providing incomplete or misleading information, or delaying access to the record through excessive delays or bureaucratic hurdles.
To it ever.
I'm not sure if they were received. When were they?
Well, they were definitely
filed?
received because they were received on September 5th in person. One to George, the AV tech, and then the other one to...
Just verbally here, you didn't filed
Correct.
the you
Which
didn't
is
complete,
correct.
you didn't complete the form?
I absolutely did not. Yeah, and it's totally allowable by the administrative
Yeah,
codes.
realize that.
Yeah.
So September 5th, you've got no response?
Correct. So
Okay, I
it's
can check
7
into it.
months right now at this point. So what do I got to do to get this rectified?
I'll check into it for you. I can check into that.
When will I get a response about that?
You'll get a response.
Okay. Well, I've been waiting for 7 months for one. So
Do we have your name and address? How
yeah,
do we get
last time I signed up for public comment.
Do
That
we
was
have
all
your
there.
name? Do we have an email address?
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, so now this is the second time they've been told that they had a public records request in. I'm going to address this a little bit more verbosely later, but I just wanted to at least let the chief of staff know now. Since Shannon is the chief legal counsel, I'm likely going to go and ask her about it as well.
Because of time constraints, we ask you to speak for not more than 2 minutes, and there'll be a timer. And we also ask that you maintain the same standard of civility that the board imposes on itself. So therefore, we ask that you do not make any comments that are libelous or slanderous, an unwarranted invasion of privacy, obscene or indecent pursuant to the Federal Communications Act or any rule of the FCC, nothing that violates school district policy or procedure related to harassment, intimidation, bullying, or discrimination. Please do not incite an unlawful act on school premises or violate a lawful school regulation or create a material and substantial disruption of the orderly operation of this board meeting. So, with that said, you can read the rest, and I'll turn it over to Chief of Staff John Harrison.
Thank you, President Watson. So we have 3 speakers all in person this evening. Speakers, you can see that clock in the top left-hand corner states 2 minutes. It'll be ticking down as you speak. Please be cognizant of the time that you have.
When I was here last to speak with the board, last September 2024, the news that Shannon McMinimee's passed as the president and legal counsel for the Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club. I received no response, still looking for responses for that. I've also had 2 constructive denials of 2 public records requests I submitted that day. So the district's 7 months out of compliance with the Public Records Act. Regarding the Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club, I'm curious if the district's now taken on a pro-Second Amendment position in light of the revelations about Mrs. McMinimee as current counsel. Does the board of directors support an armed society, but only in so much as people agree with their politics? You may wonder why I'm asking the question, but you don't have to look any further than the viewpoints of your current counsel for the district. The gun club she was president and legal counsel for provided armed security with AR-15s and an assortment of handguns at the Chaz Chop, as reported by the Daily Beast, while Ms. McMinimee was the active president of that gun club. Here are the corporate filings. I got them right here from February 8th of 2020, showing Ms. McMinimee as the sole governor of the gun club. The Chaz Chop occurred in June of 2020. Here as well are posts made by the gun club and Shannon individually during the Chaz Chop time under President McMinimee's leadership. This is the district's current legal counsel. Quote, all across the country, police are running out of crowd control ammunition and getting surrounded by protesters who outnumber them in magnitudes. Those police are finding out that there's a lot more of us than there are of them. Imagine if we were well armed. On June 13th, Chaz changed to CHOP. This was Shannon McMinimee's personal post on X. Quote, the O is now for organized rather than occupied. To the citizens of the district, your current chief legal counsel once led the Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club, the same gun club that held a remembrance march for a deceased domestic terrorist by the name of Willem Van Spronsen after firebombing an ICE detention center, and she led the same gun club while they provided armed security at the Chaz Chop. By maintaining Ms. McMinimee as general counsel after becoming aware of the information 7 months ago, it appears that your board members here agree with the pro-Second Amendment positions and politics of your legal counsel.
Thank
the
you.
district support the pro-Second
Time's up.
Amendment and political views of your chief
Finish your sentence.
counsel.
All right.
Director Block, do you still have confidence in Shannon McMinimee as general counsel for the district in light of the revelations about her past affiliations with a domestic terrorist?
Dude, you shouldn't have said that.
Ms. McMinimee, do you have time for questions about your affiliations with the Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club in the past with known domestic terrorist Willem Van Spronsen? Have your viewpoints changed at all since 2020 regarding your beliefs and how to deal with the police? Any response regarding any of that? There's personal posts. She was president of John Brown Gun Club, and it seems that she had the position that attacking the police might be a valid solution.
But it happens all the time.
Madam President, do you have any comment regarding Shannon McMinimee's past affiliations with the Puget Sound John Brown Gun Club? That comment I read from the actual gun club's Twitter account. No comment. Do you still have confidence in her adequately representing the school district with her past affiliations and her extreme pro-gun viewpoints? Does the school district share the same pro-Second Amendment viewpoints that Shannon McMinimee does? Is there any reason you can't comment? Do you as well have pro-Second Amendment viewpoints, Madam President? Director, so it's been 7 months. Have you had any opportunity to go back and actually review the credible information that is out there regarding her past? This is a well-established.
I read everything you said.
This is a well-established anti-gun.
I have read everything you said.
So this is a well-established anti-gun school district, and your general counsel is one of the most pro-gun attorneys in the nation, and actually took physical actions under her presidency of that gun club to get her members mobilized down to Chaz Chop with AR-15s and handguns. I mean, I would imagine your constituents would want to know what's the viewpoint of yourself and the board for the school board.
I believe that the constitutional rights are constitutional
Oh,
rights.
so you do support it?
I believe people have constitutional rights.
So are you pro-Second Amendment on this, Director? I do want to indicate that after Director Block gave me a very brief interview, very brief, but didn't really even answer. He was just making comments about Shannon McMinimee's right to her Second Amendment liberty, which of course she does have, but didn't provide a substantial answer in any way, shape, or form regarding the district's position about having an attorney represent the district, one of the most anti-gun districts in the country, by one of the most pro-gun attorneys in the country. And I say one of the most pro-gun attorneys because of the actual actions she took. It is rare to see people take to the streets armed as heavily as Miss Shannon McMinimee's gun club was when they were providing armed security during Chaz Chop while she was the president of that gun club. That's really worth noting here. Director Block is completely avoiding answering it in any substantial way. And I've received a lot of emails from people from the district after seeing Tuesday's story released, wondering, why is this kind of an attorney representing a district that has such staunch anti-Second Amendment liberties, or excuse me, such staunch anti-Second Amendment positions? Madam President, Director Block just said he does believe in the Second Amendment rights of Mrs. McMinimee. What's your views? It seems that he's speaking for the board. Is that your official position as the president? All right, well, we're going to wait here and see if we can get some more viewpoints from some of these folk. Shannon, do you have any comment about your qualifications to serve as a lawyer for the district?
The board is extending the executive session until 9 p.m.
Any way you can answer a few questions, Shannon, about that? Did you let the board know about your past affiliations with the gun club? Hold on. Shannon, do you have a time just for a few questions here? Really want to know if you let the district know.
The meeting is adjourned at 9 p.m. Have a good night.
Did you let the board of directors know about your history as the president of the John Brown Gun Club? Do you feel like you're qualified to continue in your capacity right now?
Just let me know when you want to meet again. Okay, next meet the next. Okay, perfect. Have a good night.
What did you mean when you said those police, or rather the gun club, those police are finding out that there's a lot more of us than there are of them? Imagine if we were all armed. Did you mean by that you wanted to have an armed conflict with law enforcement officers? It's what it seems like, Shannon, but I would like to get your comment on that. What led to the administrative dissolution of the John Brown Gun Club? Do you have any comment on that? Has there been any conversation over the last 7 months with the board of directors regarding your being hired and potentially not informing them of your background as the president of the John Brown Gun Club? Any comments at all? Is there any reason you don't want to comment, Shannon? I received 120 emails yesterday from constituents here in the district concerned about your background being inconsistent with their desires for legal representation at the district. All right, so that is Shannon McMinimee, legal counsel for the district, completely unwilling to answer questions. Basic questions. I received over 120 emails on Wednesday, yesterday, the 16th, from constituents of the Bellevue School District concerned that they had an attorney who would not be potentially adequately representing their desires at the school district. This school district is very well known for being extraordinarily anti-gun, and that is one of the most pro-gun attorneys in the country. So we're gonna wait and see if we can get these comments, get some comments from the directors here. Director, do you have any comment about the affiliation of Shannon McMinimee with the John Brown Gun Club? Have you been briefed at all about her history associated with it? And are you concerned about the seeming anti-police rhetoric that her gun club put online? It seems to be that she may have wanted to potentially to have armed conflict with police. No comment, Director? That's one of the directors here for the Bellevue School District, completely unwilling to answer any of these questions, running away, practically running away, I should say. Madam President, were you aware of the background of... Nope. Madam President, were you aware of the background of Shannon McMinimee when she was hired as legal counsel for the school district? She said, or rather the gun club said on her behalf back in 2020, all across the country, police are running out of crowd control ammunition and getting surrounded by protesters who outnumber them in magnitudes. Those police are finding out that there's a lot more of us than there are of them. Imagine if we were all armed. Is that viewpoint of the John Brown Gun Club, which was led by Shannon McMinimee, is that consistent with the viewpoints of the school district board? Is the school district pro Second Amendment? You are the president, ma'am. Can you answer that question? Does the Bellevue School District have a pro Second Amendment viewpoint in keeping with your legal counsel? Director, I know you're new on the board. Do you have any comment about this? Are you aware of any of this?
No comment.
You're not aware of it at all?
No comment.
No comment.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's your card?
Not there. Okay.
I received 120 emails yesterday after the story was published Tuesday of constituents in the district wanting to know about this. Is there some reason you don't want to answer the constituents? Wow. That is some serious avoiding of the problem. That is 3 school district board members now refusing, and I want to point out this was a 4-hour meeting that they just had. Director, do you just have a few minutes to answer some of these questions? I know you had a long session and I appreciate any time here, but I received 120 emails yesterday. I've never received that many from constituents from this school district wanting to know why the current legal counsel for the district seems to have a completely incongruent affiliation with a gun policy that is not in keeping with what the constituents want. They were shocked to find out that she was the president of a gun club, that her gun club under her presidency had armed individuals go down and provide armed security for Chaz Chop with AR-15s and handguns. I mean, these are your constituents, 120 of them reaching out, shocked by what they saw. Do you have any comment about this that I can relay to them?
Happy to talk with any constituent anytime.
But you don't want that to be passed out in mass? This is a great way to get a story out to a whole bunch of people at one time, sir. No comment?
You put my video on a page with totally inappropriate ways. You decided to make me your cover story. I don't understand why you would think I would want to make any more comment.
Well, sir, this is a great way to address the constituents. You got an opportunity right now. I'm happy to put it out unedited or whatnot.
You're putting people's private information, their cars, their license plates on your videos. You're
just out in public, sir.
attack individuals.
No, I am absolutely not trying to attack individuals.
You specifically did. I read the comments on your page. People thought
whoa, sir, that has nothing to do with me. That's unfair. Those are people in the area commenting. That is not me. I do not support those kinds of views. It is not my perspective. I am just simply trying to get answers out to as many people as possible, and you're a director. All right. Doesn't want to answer. That is all directors so far, including the president, that is unwilling to provide any answer at all regarding gun club attorney who has a rather sordid past of making comments that are rather incendiary. I'm not saying, and I want to be really clear here, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to say that Shannon McMinimee personally believes that she wants armed conflict with police. What I am saying is the John Brown Gun Club under her presidency had a post online that said all across the country police are running out of crowd control ammunition and getting surrounded by protesters who outnumber them in magnitudes. Those police are finding out that there's a lot more of us than there are of them. Imagine if we were all armed. The implication of a statement like that very much seems to be that if they were armed and surrounding them, they could take armed action against them. Now, again, I'm not saying that is Shannon McMinimee's perspective. I tried to get her perspective and she refused to answer. The only thing we have left to go off of is her own actual statements and the unwillingness of the school board. Not a single one of them, except for a slight bit of information from Director Block, to respond to any of this. So to the 120-ish of you that reached out to me yesterday about this, and I understand why you might have concerns with your political persuasions regarding the Second Amendment, I tried to get answers. These are your directors right here. That is their unwillingness, their incalcitrance to this issue and to respond to it. So that's all I can do here. I have been here for 5 hours, or 4.5 hours, sorry. A little over 4.5 hours. As you can see, it's very dark. It was beautiful and sunny when I got here. But that is going to be it for today. If you like my journalism, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that all notifications bell so you get my stories right when they're released. You can follow me on X at I.A.M. Free Auditing, on Facebook at Inland Auditing Media. And if you want to help keep me on feet on the streets, you guys know what to do. You can go to the links in the description for Cash App and Venmo. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next location. Good night.